You cut carbs and you expect leaner, clearer, calmer. Instead, you get hit with fatigue that feels like a character flaw. Sleep turns random. Mood swings show up for no reason. Your normal workout suddenly feels like altitude training. And the worst part? The cravings get louder before anything gets better. That is not you being weak. It is your body reading the new setup differently than you think. Insulin was never just about sugar. Moving to slide 2. Insulin is not just a blood sugar tool. It is a safety signal. When insulin is present, your kidneys hold on to more sodium, so you keep more fluid and blood volume. Your brain also reads higher insulin as energy is available. We are not in an emergency. When you go very low carb, insulin can drop fast, even if your calories are not that low. Then other hormones rush in to keep you functioning, like glucagon and stress hormones. That hormonal shuffle is why the first week can feel mentally and physically chaotic. If you feel worse on low carb, it is often not because carbs were magical. It is because your signals shifted quickly, and sodium was one of the first dominoes to fall. Moving to slide 3. That domino is the sodium crash. You stand up and get lightheaded. Headaches show up. Your heart pounds when you are not even doing anything. Muscles cramp and feel weak. Bathroom trips increase, and the scale drops fast. But you feel worse, not better. That early weight loss is mostly water leaving with sodium, not a sudden surge of fat loss. When blood volume drops, your body reaches for a backup plan. Moving to slide 4. One big backup plan is cortisol. When carbs drop, cortisol helps keep blood glucose available between meals and during training, which can be useful. But if cortisol stays elevated, it can wake you up too early, make you more reactive to small stressors, and make caffeine feel harsher than usual. If you are low carb and running a big deficit, that combo pushes cortisol higher. Your move is to reduce the number of stressors you stack. Keep training hard, but trim volume for a week. Get morning light and delay caffeine until you have eaten and been awake for a bit. If sleep is breaking, consider placing some carbs at dinner or around training, even if the rest of your day stays low carb. You want low carb to feel stable, not like an alarm system. Moving to slide 5. There is another short-term shift people confuse with failure. Thyroid output can downshift briefly, especially T3, when carbs and calories drop hard at the same time. That can feel like cold hands, low drive, and workouts that are strangely flat even though you are trying. This is often a deficit problem more than a carb problem. Start by checking the basics you can control this week. Keep protein solid and do not let calories crash too low for too long. If you are very lean or highly active, a moderate deficit and a few higher calorie days can restore performance without abandoning your plan. The goal is steady fat loss with a body that still wants to move. Your hormones are listening to the size of the cut, and leptin hears it too. Moving to slide 6. When you start cutting, leptin is one of the first signals to hear it. Leptin tracks your stored energy and, importantly, your recent energy intake. So even before you lose much fat, a sustained deficit can drop leptin enough to change how you feel. Hunger gets sharper, food becomes more interesting, and food noise shows up more often. A common pattern is that it feels manageable in the morning, then harder at night. That is not a character flaw. It is your brain leaning harder on appetite signals when willpower is tired, stress is higher, and you have already spent the day saying no. 2 moves help. First, stop treating every hungry night as an emergency. Plan a higher protein dinner, add fibrous volume, and keep a predictable evening snack that fits your calories, so your brain stops bargaining. Second, use refeeds intelligently. A planned day or two at maintenance, usually with more carbs, can temporarily raise leptin and improve training and mood. Chronic restriction with no breaks often backfires by making adherence the limiting factor. You want a cut your physiology can tolerate, because women often feel this shift faster. Moving to slide 7. Women tend to feel the cost of low intake sooner because the reproductive system is sensitive to stress and low energy availability. Hard training plus a big deficit, poor sleep, and very low carbs can stack up fast. If your cycle changes, your mood tanks, or your sleep breaks, Treat that as data. Pull one lever at a time. Ease the deficit, add carbs around training, and protect sleep. Your body is not being dramatic, and men are not immune either. Moving to slide 8. Men run into the same wall, just with different warning lights. Testosterone is especially sensitive to poor sleep, and deep deficits can raise stress hormones that make recovery feel harder. If you stack heavy training, low carbs, and short nights, you can see performance flatten, irritability rise, and libido dip for a while. The fix is rarely push harder. Keep the deficit moderate, keep lifting quality high, and use carbs where they matter most, around tough sessions. If your training numbers are sliding week after week, that is often recovery, not motivation. Take a deload, add a maintenance day, and rebuild sleep consistency. When recovery becomes the limiter, the smartest move is adjusting the plan, because training changes the rules. Moving to slide 9. When you train hard, glycogen changes how effort feels. If carbs are very low, high-intensity work can feel heavier, even when your fitness is fine. Endurance can improve after longer adaptation, but early weeks often feel slower and more stressful. So use performance as a stress signal. If your perceived effort spikes, put some carbs before or after the session, and keep the rest of the day lower if needed. Sleep is the multiplier. Moving to slide 10. Sleep can make low carb feel easy or impossible. If you fall asleep fine but start waking early, wide awake, that is a clue your stress response is running hot. For some people, very low carbs reduce serotonin and make sleep lighter, especially during a deficit. First, set a hard caffeine cutoff. Late caffeine hits harder when carbs are low and you are dieting. Second, consider moving more of your daily carbs to dinner, even 20 to 60 grams, especially on training days. That can calm nighttime wake-ups without breaking your diet. Watch electrolytes too. Low carb increases sodium loss, and low sodium can worsen sleep, headaches, and fatigue. A salty broth or salted meal in the evening can help. Magnesium can support sleep quality, but it works best when sodium is not chronically low. Then connect the dots. Poor sleep increases next-day cravings and reduces impulse control, so the diet feels harder even at the same calories. Protecting sleep is not a wellness bonus. It is how you keep appetite signals and adherence from spiraling, and it sets the pace of your adaptation timeline. Moving to slide 11. Here's the timeline most people actually feel. Days 1 to 5 can be rough. Headaches, low energy, irritability, and weaker workouts are common, while your appetite signals and water balance shift. Weeks 2 to 4 are more variable. Some people feel great. Others feel up and down depending on sleep, stress, training load, and how aggressive the carb cut is. Fat oxidation improves gradually, not overnight, so your performance and cravings should trend better over time. If symptoms are not clearly improving by week 2, assume you're not failing. You're underfueled, undersalted, underslept, or pushing training too hard. Adjust the plan, then reassess. Adaptation is a trend line, and your job is to keep it moving in the right direction while respecting red flags. Moving to slide 12. Some signals mean you should pause and get help, not push through. If you have persistent insomnia, nighttime adrenaline, or panic that doesn't settle after a few days, that's a problem. If you're fainting, having severe dizziness, or can't stand up without seeing stars, stop and address it urgently. If your menstrual cycle is disrupted for months, that's a sign your overall energy availability is too low. Hair shedding with fatigue can also point to underfueling, iron issues, thyroid problems, or chronic stress that needs evaluation. And if you have a history of an eating disorder, strict carb rules can be a relapse trigger, so do this only with professional support or choose a less restrictive approach. The goal is progress you can live with, not warning signs you ignore. Moving to slide 13. To make this sustainable, pick a carb target you can hit consistently, not the lowest number you can tolerate. Anchor protein at every meal. Be intentional with salt and fluids, especially early on. Put most of your carbs around hard training, and go lower on easy days if you want. Track symptoms and performance, not perfection. If this helped, subscribe for more. Drop a comment with your current carb target and what you're training for. This content is for education only and is not medical advice. Ketosis is a tool. Metabolic flexibility is the goal.